Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi and today we're doing another pick a card. Today's pick a card is who is currently thinking about you. So whoever is currently thinking about you and has you on their mind, that's what we're going to be taking a look at today. Instead of crystals, I actually have perfumes. I had in my head the pick a card that I was doing today, and then I was just like looking at all my perfumes and I thought, I think we're going to use perfumes. I think that's what we're going to do. So pile number one, we have REM. Pile number two, we have Ghost. Pile number three, we have Alien. And pile number four, we have Mistio. So see which perfume you are drawn to. The timestamps are going to be in the description box as usual, and I will see you guys at your timestamp. Hey pile one, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is currently thinking about you. So you guys chose the REM perfume. I'm going to get started. I'm going to start with your tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get straight in. So pile number one, please, spirit guides, tap me into the collective of my pile number ones. Tap me into the collective of my pile number ones. Oh god, your cards just flopped down. I'm not going to use them because I feel like that was more me and the way I was shuffling. Are you guys, I don't know why, when I'm tapping into you guys' collective, I'm seeing a lot of clouds. Have you guys been having brain fog the past couple of days, or have you guys just been feeling a bit more, like I almost feel like I'm not getting too much like clarity, like I've got really bad brain fog, or I'm not feeling super in tune or connected. I know this has nothing to do with the reading, but I'm just being told to say when that happens, it's because there's either a reboot and rewiring going on. I talk about this a lot, where sometimes we have to be shut off to turn back on, and then it's like our software is kind of updated. We have expanded in a particular area, like spiritually. So I feel like there's either like a reboot going on in your energy, or it could be that there's just something kind of like making its way out, purging out. And it doesn't feel like anything big, like anything that like you're crying over, anything that's like purging out through emotion. It's more so like outdated ways of thinking. So you may be feeling just like a little bit confused in regards to like applying yourself to things, especially spiritually right now. And I'm being told for you guys to just observe it and allow it to flow, because there's almost like doubts, maybe some insecurities, but it's more so like doubts or maybe feelings of feeling a bit skeptic and things like that, that were maybe holding you back in a particular area before. They're starting to like flow out. So there's like an alchemization going on there. So if you are feeling a little bit like brain fog, or you're just feeling a little bit like disconnected, or like you wanted to pick up your cards, you wanted to connect with spirit, and you just feeling very one-dimensional, spirit saying it's fine, like it's completely fine, and you'll be fine in like a couple of days. I'm being shown the number 3, so it could be like 3 weeks, 3 days, something like that. But literally I think that you're just having a little bit of a reboot, or just like there's a shift happening, and it doesn't feel because I don't see you like purging, crying, so I just feel like it's just let the fog clear. Like if it's here, just allow it to clear. You can observe it, but don't hold on to it and don't fight against it. Just allow it to flow. That was just a message that came through. If some of you guys have been getting a bit of brain fog, or just not feeling too connected to your intuition, it's completely fine and it's passing out. Just wanted to get that message through. So pile one, who is currently thinking about my pile number ones? Please, spirit guides, who is currently thinking about my pile number one? So we have Temperance. Who is currently thinking about my pile number? You may have dreamed about this person recently, because as I was tapping in, I kept staring at the perfume, and I know the perfume, it's Ariana's perfume, REM, and I think it's named after her song REM, which I don't know why I'm saying it, but it's one of my favorite songs of her. And in that song, she sings about like seeing the person that she's in love with in her dreams, or like falling in love with someone in her dreams. And she sings, I don't want to wake up. And that kind of came up. So it could be someone that you've dreamed about. It doesn't have to be like romantic. It's just the dream part is sticking out when I'm looking at the perfume. So you may have been having dreams about them or thinking about them as of recent, or just maybe daydreaming. We have the 3 of Cups as well. Who is currently, this is someone you could have actually been friends with in the past. There's something coming through. Who is currently thinking about my pile ones? That just popped out. What have we got here? We have strength. Who is currently thinking about my pile number ones, please, spirit guides? We have death. I never really feel called to do a below, but today I do. I don't know why, so I'm going to. Who is currently thinking about my pile number ones? Hang on, your card fell on the floor. We have the Six of Wands. Okay. I feel like this feels a little bit like an old friend, or a friend that like you've drifted away from but you're still friendly with. We'll get into it in a second. The Hermit. Someone wants to know who you're around. Let me just lay the other card and I'll channel properly. Someone wants to know who you're around. Someone's being nosy, I feel. Who's currently thinking of my pile ones? We have Judgment. Back of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. Okay. Who is currently thinking about my pile number ones? Let me just make sure this is straight, because I was having trouble getting it to focus and having it not be on the slant, but there we go. What I was gonna say was, with the Temperance and the Death, I really do feel like you guys have outgrown this person. It's not coming through too romantically. You can apply it to that if that's how it applies. It's more so coming through as maybe a friendship or a family member that you guys have outgrown. This person's almost referencing that you've outgrown them though as well. It could be in regards to, I would definitely say with the Temperance card, like you've been on a bit of a self movement wave, whether that's healing, self-love, self-worth, you know, journey, whatever it has been for you. You definitely have upgraded and this person is aware, because there's almost like what would have bound you and this person together in the past, it's gone, like it's dead in the water. So the person, you know, when we heal and we move forward, we literally outgrow people because we realize some people were around us because maybe we gave a lot to them, or some people were around us because they needed a specific energy, but now we're not giving that out for free anymore, you know what I mean? Or maybe there was like a power dynamic in a situation, but you've pulled that power back. Whatever it fits for you, I feel like there's something like that where the person that you are has completely shifted. So they're referencing that the person that they would have been close with, or the person that they would have been friends with, is dead, has been alchemized, has shifted. And I feel like they're super aware of that, and they're almost kind of like observant of what you're up to now, or the type of person that you are now. If you are still in contact, I feel like they may even like word things in a particular way, or try things to see if you actually have shifted, or if you actually have left the paradigm you were once in. That's the kind of feeling that's coming up. Because this person does hold on to memories. It may even be that this person may still have some attachments towards you in regards to their own healing. Sometimes when we can't let go of something and we're going back to a particular time period, it's because a part of like the fragments of our soul are stuck in that time period. So it's like, how do I explain it? So they'll kind of review that time period over and over and over because there's something there that needs to be healed or worked from in their own energy. So there's a time period in their life that they're still stuck on, and it would have been a time period where you were still in their life, and that's why I feel like you crop up in their mindset a lot, because they're referencing like it's dead and gone. We have the sunset here. We have the sunset here in the background, so it's almost like that phase has come to an end, but this person's still holding on, doesn't want the day to end, doesn't want that time to end. It could be that they don't want their youth to end if you were friends with them in your like more youthful days, like in your younger days, in your childhood and things like that. So there's definitely a reference there. I think this person does kind of feel like there are some selfish energies coming through. Like this person would have wanted you to stay put in your old energy because that was beneficial to them. This person also almost feels like everyone is moving on without them. This person kind of feels stuck and everyone's kind of moving on without them, or everyone's up leveling without them, and they liked how a particular time period was. So you could have had other friends that were friends with this person. It's almost a feeling like everyone's kind of moved on and you've moved on, and it's like they're wanting you back that, you know what I mean? They like that. They're almost like romanticizing an era where you would have been in their life. And the person that you were in that era. It's like they almost want to deny the person you've become and the person other people have become. They don't like that. It's like they're trying to go back to a particular era. It could have been an era where they had a lot more power. It could have been an era where maybe they called the shots and everyone just went for it. It could have been an era where you know, everyone hadn't really grown too much and didn't know themselves too much. Maybe this person hasn't chosen to heal or grow and everybody else has. So there's this feeling of kind of like deserted, like I'm still wanting to play on the beach but the sun's setting and everyone's gone home and I didn't want it to end. So that's the energy coming through from this person. We then have the Six of Wands and we have the Four of Wands as well. So I feel like this person is almost, I'm hearing establishment, so I feel like this person's almost looking at things that you've established in your life, and it's almost just kind of like, again, it's like, I don't want you doing that, I want you back here. Or maybe you're in a relationship now and you were friends with this person when you were single and it's like, I don't like that. Or maybe you again, you've done healing, you've grown into somebody else, you have different interests, and this person's like still stuck in that energy, so it's like, I don't like that you've moved on like that. Or maybe you know your worth now and this person might have benefited from you not knowing your worth, so it's like, I don't like that you're up on this pedestal now, I don't like that you're building foundations now. There's something about you doing something that's quite concrete, which would make me think of like you guys owning a house, you guys having a baby, but you know, maybe getting married or being in a relationship, or just going moving up in regards to your work, maybe blazing ahead in your career, and this person's like, I liked it better when you didn't have that. I liked it better when you weren't like that, when you didn't have these things. Like, that made me feel better. Did you used to, when you were in their life, make yourself small to make them feel good? Did you dim your light when they were in your life so that they felt better? Because there's almost this feeling of you guys shining. You guys really just shining out. And there's like, I almost feel like certain things you're doing now, you would have done back then but kept it quiet. So you could have like a talent for, like, I'm hearing tech. So you guys could have had a talent for that, but when you were friends with them, you didn't show them, and now you're making advancements. Then it's like, I liked it better when you didn't have that. Or you know what I mean? It's like, I liked it better before. Or you may be someone now that like likes to maybe you've always liked fashion and liked certain clothes, but back in the day you didn't have the confidence to wear certain things and you'd keep yourself small or hide that, whereas now you're like walking down the street like it's a runway and this person's like, I preferred it before. So there is definitely jealousy coming here, but the jealousy is coming from an insecurity of I don't have control. I feel like this person has like control issues. I feel like this person doesn't like that they don't have control of you anymore. I'm hearing peeping Tom, so they may be on your social media or asking about you, asking around about you, because they're definitely like I said, control issues. When we know information, we can get control over something. This person doesn't feel like they have the information on you that they'd like, so they're trying to find that information, maybe, which could be through social media or asking. Some of you guys, I'm hearing, may have caught them. Either you guys have caught them like lurking on your social media, or you may have had a dream where they were lurking on your social media, or maybe like trying to look in your house or something, and that was a confirmation in the dream state of like, yeah, this person's like checking up on you, by the way, because that's definitely coming through. Did you because we have the Three of Cups here and then we have the Hermit. It's almost like there's a blame being put on you by this person of, why did you ruin a good thing? It's almost like we were all dancing in the sunset, you said you wanted to go home and then everyone went home, why did you ruin that? So there's almost a finger being pointed towards you, like, well, why? And with the Hermit card, it's making me feel like you went inward. Maybe you pulled your energy away, maybe you went back to source, maybe you went through a spiritual awakening, maybe you guys went into seclusion for some healing, because there's almost a finger being pointed, like, you've done this, it's your fault I'm left here, it's your fault everybody's left. And it's not. You all grew, evolved, transformed. This person did not. And when I say you all, even if you didn't have a friend group, this is making me feel like there was at least another friend that's moved on as well. But if it wasn't a friend group, it could just be people in their life. Like, it's always kind of been that way. People have moved on and they haven't. They may have a lot of fixed energy in their chart. That's definitely something coming through. So Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, they may have a lot of that in their chart. They don't have to. There's just something where they're kind of like stuck. There's something they're not wanting to face to evolve. everyone's evolving, and I think it's playing on their insecurities as well. I don't think this person's very happy at all. This person's almost feeling as well like you've leveled up in regards to the mind. So maybe you've gained a lot of wisdom. Again, you've done a level of healing. You've alchemized. There's something about you being smart at things that you weren't before. And this person's kind of like not liking that, if that makes sense. Like, I don't feel like they're... it makes me feel like when you were friends with them, they did maybe take advantage of you, and I feel like you're aware. Maybe that's why you cut them off, because the way that they're moving is like, I can't, like, how to explain it? I don't have a power over you anymore. I don't get to take that from you anymore. I don't get to take that. I don't get to control a narrative anymore. I don't get to do this. I don't get to do that. It's like I don't get to portray something of you because, like, I'm not in your life. You know what I mean? There's something about that. And it's getting a bit toxic, but you know the Mean Girls scene where Katie is talking about Regina, and she's in the mirror and she's like, I can hear people getting bored with me, but I can't stop. I was like a woman possessed. So it could be that this person, when you first stepped away, might have like talked about you a bit, but then it got to a point where it was like, this is what I mean, everyone moved on. So it got to a point where people were like, actually, this person's doing really well, and you're still talking about them and they're not talking about you. Or like, they just kept speaking until everything that they were saying, they were just repeating the same things because they had nothing left to say, and people just ended up getting bored. It was like, I can feel people getting bored with me now. So there's something about that, because that's the scene from Mean Girls that I was just shown. So it could be something to do with that. I think that they bored people around them, maybe with your name or talking about you or asking about you. Maybe you have mutable friends. Maybe you do have mutable friends. Maybe your friend is a Sag, Gemini, I've completely forgotten the names. A Sag, a Gemini, a Virgo, a Pisces. Maybe one of your friends has a mutable sign in their chart, and they're asking that friend, that mutual friend, about you, and then they've got bored. There's almost this feeling of that, like, yeah, I feel like people are getting bored of them because they're still talking about things from like 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago. That's what I mean. Everyone's moving on. And especially with the Strength card as well, there's something in regards to your own power, your own confidence, where you've kind of like leveled up. I feel like maybe, especially with the Judgment card, and it's tied in with like half the devil, half the angel here. It's almost like they may have, okay. So I'm hearing the Taylor Swift song, I Did Something Bad, and she sings, I never trust a narcissist, but they love me. And she sings, I did something bad, but why does it feel so good? So they could have taken your kindness or weakness, maybe take, how do I explain it? They might have seen you as a little bit of a pushover at times when they were in your life. And I feel like they took advantage of that. But whereas you double back, tapped into your more darker side too, double back, stepped away, maybe put them in their place, because I'm hearing I Did Something Bad by Taylor Swift. So you bounced back. Maybe gave them a taste of their own medicine or something like that. And I feel like you might have leveled up in that process then, like found your voice. Because when we think of lions with the Strength card, they roar. So I feel like you may have found your voice, and this person's like, whoa. And that's maybe what they're not liking. They're not liking that you stood up for yourself. So that's definitely something coming through. I don't like this person's energy for you in your life. So I would say be careful with this person in your life. But know that anything that they're doing, it's run off of insecurities. And the reason that they haven't grown up or leveled up or done that amount of healing is because there's something they don't want to acknowledge. And that part of them that they don't want to acknowledge, which would be the key to them leveling up, is their own insecurities, where they may feel... I almost feel like they have certain insecurities, and the way they deal with their insecurities is to maybe put other people down to make themselves feel good. I feel like they'll feed off an energy like that. And the key for them to kind of like grow up, because that's the word Spirit's using, grow up. The key for them to do that and unhook themselves from karma like that is to actually acknowledge it and transmute it and kind of, pull back into themselves, but they almost don't want to do it. There is a bit of like, they kind of dislike themselves a little bit. I feel like, say now this person had money and you didn't, this person would like maybe talk about money a lot and be superficial a lot because they'd feel like that's how they got something over you, and maybe put you down for not having money. Or if this person had like knowledge on a particular subject, they talk about it a lot and put you down for not having that knowledge, because that's how they'd feel they'd be able to build themselves up. It's like, well, I'm I'm winning in this era, so I'm going to use that and I'm going to use it against you. Whereas I feel like something that they used against you, you've just leveled up and bounced back, so they can't use that against you now. So that's why I was hearing people tell me I'm trying to find something else out. There's a level of control that they've lost. It could be that you've like doubled up financially. It could be that you're a lot more confident now. It could be that you're more sure of yourself now. There's like a part of your shadow they were able to control, but you've alchemized that part. So we have the unicorn, good fortune and friendship. Do you know what's funny though? This person values you. This person actually valued your friendship. Pile number 1. And then your card just dropped on the floor. We have water. Emotions are at their peak. Pile number 1. The Wyvern, your secrets are safe. Back of the deck, we have the Stars. A long journey brings rewards. Yeah, you've definitely rebirthed. You're definitely not the same person that you were when you were around them. This person could have a lot of water in their chart, so Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Or you could as well. Let me just make sure they're all in view. Good fortune and friendship. Yeah, so this person definitely felt like you were valuable to them. The reason I'm saying that with the unicorn card here is when we think of unicorns, they're mythical creatures. And they're unique, you know what I mean? And I just feel like they almost looked at you as quite unique. Like you had something, or you brought something that maybe they haven't been able to find in a friendship or in, you know, a family situation. I also feel like you guys were quite loyal to them. And I feel like maybe they didn't realize that till later on. But there's an essence of like, you were really loyal, and that's something that they're kind of like missing. There's something about you that they see as like golden. I think you gave to them a lot. Like you may have hyped them up a lot. You may have tried to make them feel good. You may have really listened to them and nurtured them. Yeah, I feel like you may have brought a lot of colour into their life, made them think outside the box with the unicorn here. Like there's something about that where they definitely feel like you're valuable. And that's something that they've kind of like missed out on. I do feel like this person's kind of stuck in a web of their own insecurities, and I think they get triggered and they get on the defense a lot. So instead of getting triggered and then like looking at why it's triggering them and moving on, I feel like they'll get triggered and then become very defensive. It's reminding me of like it's like the shadows jumping out and snapping back to make myself feel good. You've triggered me, I'm going to like really put you down. So there's something about that. It's like if I'm triggered, I'm going to make everyone else feel low. So I would say like, did this friend, when they were feeling, okay, so say now you were going out for food, and this person would say now like didn't feel good in what they were wearing, and then they would see everybody else and everybody else looked good, and say no, they didn't feel good, instead of saying like I don't feel good, I want to go change, or here's my insecurities, and acknowledging those insecurities, they'd bring the mood down. So it's like, I'm going to make today really bad so everyone's in a low mood like me. So I'm going to target you. Did this person used to target appearances? Because there's something about appearances coming through. There's something about that, or clothes, or style, or just a glow that somebody has. There's something about that where it's like, I'm going to target things that I feel I lack and I'm going to put them down. So that's definitely something that's coming through. But if this person randomly went into moods and put everyone down, something would have triggered them to do that. That's something that's coming up. And then you have your secrets are safe. Why do we have your secrets are safe? I feel like this person feels like you can see through them. I feel like this person feels like you can see through them. This person also... I feel like this person feels like you may talk about them, but I feel like that's them being stuck in their old ways. It's almost like this person talks about me, this person says things about me, and you may, you might, but I also feel like they're going off of things from years ago. Like there's something so outdated that they're talking about and holding on to that like everyone's moved on from but them. And I don't know what that could be. But I feel like they may be projecting then like, oh, this person's still talking about me, and you're not. I especially in this reading, I don't feel like you are. there's something being projected there, but it's because it's like we see the world how we feel on the inside, and I feel like they don't trust people around them, because they're seeing it. There's a lot of insecurities that they're battling. I don't feel like they're very happy where they're currently at. Yeah. So pile 1, that is what I have for you guys. You've definitely moved on, leveled up, glowed up. They definitely don't have control over you anymore, and I think that's the issue for them. I would just say keep shining, wish them well. I think they'll evolve. I think that a tower is going to have to fall down for them to evolve, because they're still stuck somewhere. Yeah, they're still stuck somewhere, and only them can make that shift. Only they can make that shift, you know? Yeah. But they're still holding on to the past, and that's why they're thinking of you. So pile 1, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading, and I hope it brought you some clarity. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is currently thinking about you. So you guys chose the Ghost Perfume. I'm going to start with tarot, and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get straight in. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Pile number 2, who is currently thinking about my pile number 2? Who is currently thinking about my pile number 2? We have the Empress. I just shared missed opportunity. So this is somebody feeling like they've had a missed opportunity. However, I don't feel like it's who you think it is. I'll get into it, but Spirit's being very adamant, like the first person you think this might be, it's not them, it's somebody else, which I hope to bring details about. It's not someone that's an ex, and it's not someone that you would have gone too far with. Okay, we have the 9 of Swords. I'm hearing Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift. Pile number, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Who is currently thinking about my pile number 2s? We have the 8 of Swords. Who is currently thinking about my pile number 2s? We have the Wheel of Fortune. It was in reverse though, so I am going to pop that there in reverse. Pile number 2. Who is currently thinking about my pile 2s? Oh, we have the 4 of Cups. Who is currently thinking about my pile number 2s? Who is currently thinking about my pile number 2s? We have the 8 of Pentacles. Who is currently thinking about my pile number 2s, please, spirit guides? The Moon. On the back of the deck, we have the Devil, but the Devil is in reverse. Let me pop that there. Okay. Let me just check that this is focused. Yeah. Okay. So pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Who is currently thinking about my pile number 2s? This is someone that feels like, okay, they almost feel, it's almost like we were supposed to be together, but I almost feel like you don't share the same view. Hear me out. This could be someone that you went on a couple of dates with and you thought, like, you might not have just been interested. They had a different viewpoint. I feel like they thought something would have gone somewhere. That's how it's coming through. With the Wheel of Fortune reversed, it's like I'm trying to make something, I'm trying to make this wheel turn, I'm trying to make this wheel clog, and there's just too much effort. And then it's like they feel like they could have had a lot with you, like we could have had a lot together. But do you know what it is? I feel like you're like, there's a feeling from you like I'm none the wiser. I'm not, like I don't feel like you would have shared this same feeling. I don't see from your end that you would have had any emotional connection to this person, whereas that there is a level of fantasy, yes, but there's almost this feeling of like, I really wanted this. It's like, you know, when you really want a Christmas present when you're a kid, and you really want it and you really want it, and like it's edging towards Christmas time, and you're like, oh my god, I hope I have this, I hope I have this. And there's that like anticipation, or like when your favorite singer like is dropping a song and you know it's coming and you get that anticipation. That's the person's feeling towards this. So it's almost like I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing, but like I'm not getting anywhere with it. So there's like a frustration, and that's why I'm hearing wildest dreams. So I almost feel like this person could have maybe fantasized about a connection with you, or just has very good memory of you. Maybe went on a couple of dates and they have very good memory of like your time, how you made them feel, maybe the way you looked, maybe the way you spoke. There's something about that, and it's kind of like kept as a memory, but this isn't who you think it would be. Like this is someone that like for you, it was very short-lived. It was something that you weren't too interested in. Maybe you were stepping into another connection, and maybe just still dating around, and this was the last person you dated before you got into that other connection. Or maybe it was at a time where you were just dating quite a few people. Then maybe was a lot going on. You saw this person a couple of times, but there wasn't really a spark from your end. This was like, I don't think I'm interested. Or it could even be that like maybe you were around this person before you'd healed certain wounds, so maybe like the way that they approached it wasn't you were maybe looking for something else at the time. That wasn't really what you felt you wanted at the time. Maybe you were emotionally unavailable at the time. So this person's kind of like remembering what could have been, and it's like, I don't know why this wheel isn't, you know, turning. Why isn't this wheel kind of like, why isn't this cog turning? Like, why isn't it turning? I don't understand. And there's a frustration there, but they're also referencing that like, they're almost referencing that you've changed now, or you've grown now, or it's like, if I met this person in their energy that they're in now, we probably would have made something, but there was just too much junk going on at the time. So maybe you were working through heavy karma at the time. Maybe you were doing some healing at the time and weren't ready for a relationship, because this person's referencing when they were in my life, they weren't ready. They had the door shut on me, but like if I would have met them how they are now, things would have bloomed. So they're definitely keeping tabs on you to know that you've shifted into a different energy. It could even be that they met you when you were in a relationship and they were trying to push it beyond that, but you were in a relationship, whereas now you're single. It's like, but there's almost a feeling now like, I couldn't get to them now anyway. So it could be that you've moved now. It could be that they're in a relationship now. But there's a really fond memory of you. That's why I'm hearing wildest dreams, because she sings, say you'll remember me. I don't know the lyrics too much, but I know it's like, say you'll remember me sitting in a white dress, sitting in a red dress. I don't know the lyrics, but she's basically saying like, remember me in your wildest dreams. So that's kind of coming through. With the 9 of Swords and the 4 of Cups, yeah, it's almost like something was cooking. They're almost referencing you, like you weren't ready. Something was cooking. Something like there was something obligating you. But I just feel like they were observing it, but I don't think it was too much. Like, this is something so short-lived. Like, this is something someone you don't think about at all. Someone that you don't think you missed an opportunity with. This is someone that, like, maybe you friend-zoned, you didn't feel that way with, but they have a different story in their mind. Because remember, we're always looking at things from our own level of perception, so they've got a different story in their mind of what could have been. And that's what they're kind of referencing. Especially with this 4 of Cups here, and you see, like, the cup, it's kind of like, he's holding it, but there's almost this feeling like this flower hasn't bloomed properly yet. So it's almost like we didn't have enough time, maybe. You just, I don't know, I wouldn't say they're blaming you, but it's almost like it was, you just weren't ready. You were interested in something else. You were healing, maybe. Are you guys quite connected to spirit? Because we have the 9 of Pentacles here, and she's talking to this bird, and the bird's more of a skull bird than it is like an actual bird, which is making me feel like messages from spirit. So you could have gone through maybe a spiritual awakening and shifted and changed. We have the 8 of Pentacles here, so there's a reference of you guys like working on something, building something, maybe just growing, because even with this Eight of Pentacles, you know, she's creating these pentacles and then she's putting them on display on the shelf. So maybe there's just like certain life lessons that you started to go through and work through and like kind of like evolved. This person almost looks like when they were in your life, there was something you weren't seeing, because they're referencing you like the Two of Swords. Like they were referencing that you were going through it. They were referencing that you were maybe living in your shadow. They're referencing that you maybe had insecurities, or you maybe didn't really, you know, before we heal certain karma, we can look at love in a completely different way than after we heal the karma. Like we can look at love in a way of like it's meant to be this back and forth power dynamic, whereas it's not meant to be like that. I almost feel like this person feels like they were offering, this is how they feel, they could not have been, this is just their energy, they feel like they were offering you something stable but you couldn't recognize it, and they're referencing you couldn't recognize it, whereas I bet if I offered that to you now you'd recognize it. That's how they're looking at it. But you couldn't recognize it back then. That's what they're referencing, but they're saying that you've evolved since then, 100%. Especially with the Eight of Swords and the Moon, it's like they almost feel like right person, wrong time with you. But with the Devil card reversed, they're referencing that you've shifted, you've healed certain wounds. There were triggers coming up that probably wouldn't come up now. Maybe you were dating them and a trigger did come up and then you ran away. Maybe this is someone you ran away from. It doesn't have to be, but this is someone that you would look at as like, you have no ill feeling towards them, I feel. Or if there was ill feeling at one point, you've transmuted from it. I'm hearing the Marshmallow and Anne-Marie song Friends. So I feel like maybe you friend zoned them, or you feel like maybe you got the ick from them. Maybe there were some things that they did. Maybe they were trying to pour into you, but you didn't know how to receive yet. There's something about that, but I don't feel like you have too much negative feelings towards them. It's just like that was what it was. I wasn't feeling it and I moved on. It meant more to them, I feel, than it did you. I think you taught them a lesson, because maybe it triggered their insecurities at one point, but I feel like they've grown from that, because they're not pointing the finger at you. They're just referencing that, you know, we were more young, there was something that you were working through, that they are looking to you as the reason why it didn't bloom though. But they look back at you fondly, I feel. I definitely feel like they look back at you fondly and they're referencing your growth. They're still very much admiring you. We have the Empress card, you know, at the beginning here. I feel like they're very much admiring you. It's like, I would have liked to grow with you and been a part of your journey, but okay. There is a reference of that coming through. They're looking at it very logically and very stable, but they definitely think of you from time to time because there's a good memory of you there. It's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's as deep as like the one that got away, but where I'm hearing Wildest Dreams by Taylor Swift, that's how it's feeling. It's like they look back at that time and they have a really fond memory. It's like if they were to, there's something that they're looking at it logically, like I wouldn't be with them now anyway. So I don't know what that is. I don't know if they're in a connection. It does feel that way. They could be like in a connection, or you could have literally moved across the world from them. There's something that's like a logical, because this person's logical and practical. So they're like, we wouldn't be together now anyway. Maybe they wouldn't want me now, or maybe they've got their life and I've got mine. Maybe we're two completely different people. Maybe we've grown in two completely different ways, or maybe I'm, you know, in a relationship, maybe they're in a relationship. So it could be that. It could be that you're both in relationships now, but there's like a fondness, and it's kind of like, it's like I would have liked to grow with you, but that's just the case. I'm over here being a daffodil, you're over there being a rose. It is what it is. But there's a fondness. It's like, I still like roses though, you know. It's kind of coming through like that. But they've watched you. They've watched. I don't know how long this person hasn't been in your life, but they've watched you. They've watched you shift. They've known when you've been shifting. They've known when you've been changing. They've watched it. They've watched you grow. And taking it in very practically. This person may have a lot of earth in their chart. Capricorn. I don't know why I saw Aries. I know Aries isn't an earth sign, but I just kept being shown Aries for some reason. But yeah, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. I'm also picking up Scorpio as well. I know that's not an earth sign, but that's coming through. So either the earth signs are Aries and Scorpio. They may have those signs prominent. Yeah, why is the moon here? They've watched you go through all these phases and transform. So you weren't emotionally available, they feel. But they've watched you go from like the new moon to the full moon. Like they've watched you go through different phases, and they're almost referencing where you're at now. Like, imagine I would have met them back then, but how they are now. We would have really like bloomed then. But they've definitely watched these phases. But they were almost feeling like you were emotionally unavailable when they were around you. There is that coming through. So pile number, they find you very attractive, and they feel like you have a lot of qualities, and they're almost referencing like, I saw those good qualities in you maybe when you didn't see them in yourself. They're referencing it like that. They come through a bit dad-like, to be honest with you. I don't know why. It's giving me, they may be a father now, I don't know. Maybe that's having them look at things differently. But they're like, I saw those qualities in you before you saw them in yourself, and I was kind of waiting for you to see them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something about that coming through. They're referencing you come into your own. It could even be that this is nothing to do with a connection, and this is maybe a father figure that has watched you grow and come into your own, and that's what they're thinking of. Maybe there isn't a connection between you and that father figure now, but they've watched you from afar come into your own. Then maybe there's something like that. But for most of you, I do think it was more so a connection, but not like a full-blown one. Yeah, for most of you it was, but this isn't like, I feel like when I mentioned somebody from the past, the first person you would have thought of, it's not them. It's somebody different. I keep hearing that Wildest Dream song, Say You'll Remember Me. Say you'll see me again, even if it's just in your wildest dreams. I like the Bridgerton version of that. You know, like when Bridgerton's been doing the violin orchestra version of the songs, like Thank You Next and Diamonds. I've been listening to the orchestra versions. That's why I don't know the lyrics, but I know the tune. Because I've been listening to that. I think they're really beautiful. I love instruments like that. Pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Who is currently thinking of my pile 2s? This is a bit of sweet energy coming from this person, and I think they do have a lot of love for you, and I think that they see the value in you, and it's kind of like a bittersweet, like, I was waiting, maybe they were waiting in the sidelines for you to almost be ready, but by the time they feel that you would have been open to them, there was something that meant that they couldn't go there anyway. There's something about that coming through. I just feel like you just are not, I feel like even now you wouldn't be that interested in this person though. I feel like even where you're at now, it's like, I don't think I would be open to this now. Like, I still don't think I would feel anything. I definitely think you helped them heal something, or like some sort of karma, in regards to maybe their own worthiness, their own confidence. I do think that you helped them heal something, but they're looking at you in a really gratitude way. You know, that they've got a lot of gratitude for you. We have the Wizard. Use your skills to aid others. Pile number, I'm hearing It Ain't Me, which was sung by Selena Gomez, and I think it was Kygo. We have the Serpent. A sly and subtle approach is needed. Pile number 1, please, spirit guides. Who is currently thinking of, pile number 2, please, spirit guides. Who is currently thinking of my pile 2s? A Talisman. You are destined to succeed. Back of the deck, we have the Minstrel. Let your intentions be known. Yeah, this person definitely had romantic feelings. Maybe they were quite upfront about their feelings at a time when maybe that wasn't what you were looking for. That's definitely being referenced. Maybe they were, sometimes, like, I find sometimes people can be a bit forceful and not give us space, and then it makes us want to withdraw. I feel like this person may have been like that with you. There was something that they did which I feel like either you felt was too much, or it was like, I'm just not ready for this right now. You may have even said it to them, I'm not ready for this right now. I don't think I'm open to something like this right now. Or maybe your feelings were just confused. Maybe your mind was on an ex, or healing from an ex, or something like that. Why do we have use your skills to aid others? I almost feel like this person's coming in like when they were in your life, they wanted to like fix and heal you. This person's almost coming in like seeing your wounds and wanting to heal a broken bird. It's like I wanted to heal. I wanted to fix you. I wanted to heal you. I wanted to make things better for you. I didn't want you to feel low. I wanted to show. It's almost like Neo song "Let Me Love You." Like I wanted to show you what, you know, romance could be like, or what this could be like, or what true friendship could be like. Like there's almost a feeling of them wanting to show that to you, wanting to heal you when they were in your life, because there's this feeling like they've had to maybe heal that need to want to heal others. They definitely had to do that. We have the serpent, a sly and subtle approach is needed. Why do we have that? This person back in the day might have got triggered by you not being that interested in them, and then maybe attacked you for it. They might have put you down. They might have used your insecurities against you. There's something about that coming through. They may have done that. But it was more so their shadow, like their insecurities being hurt, and it's like, well, I'm gonna kind of like hurt you then. Or it's almost reminding me of like, oh, you like it when people aren't treating you right, well, I won't treat you right either then. And then it's like, I'm doing that, but I don't like that I'm doing it, but I'm doing it to get back at you, or for you to want me. Like they may have even done that, so they may have tried to flip the switch on you, but there's almost this frustration, like it's not working the way I thought it would. So say now you were involved with someone that maybe wasn't treating you the best, but it was like a karmic connection, so there was an energy cord there of like you felt, you know, really connected to them, even though that connection was a bit rocky. And then this person witnessed that and was like, oh, well, if you don't like when I'm trying to treat you right, I'm going to treat you like this. And then they tried, but there's a frustration because the way you would have been with that ex or that person you were involved with, you weren't being with them. You weren't stuck on them. You weren't giving them that energy. You weren't fawning over them the way that they thought. So then it was like, oh, and that frustrated them even more. But I think it led to a bit of a rebirth. Where we're at now, it's just pure gratitude and having love for you. But I feel like back in the day that may have happened. That's, if that resonates for you guys, I feel like that would have happened with some of you. And then we have you are destined to succeed. Why do we have you are destined to succeed? What's that about? They're just referencing that they've always kind of seen you as a gem. So there's something that you're flourishing in now, or you've grown, or you've evolved, and it's like, I always knew you do that. You were a gem. Like they're referencing that to you. Yeah. And I think why they're thinking about you right now, I think they do go through phases where they'll just think of you quite a bit. It kind of influxes, it kind of goes in waves. But there's like a gratitude. Maybe they've recently checked up on your social media, or maybe you've seen them recently and they're like, oh, see, I knew they'd bloom. I knew they would. I knew they'd grow. I knew they'd be happy again. I knew they'd get over that person. I knew they'd, find their confidence again. I knew they'd win. I knew they'd reach that level in their career. Yeah, that's how they're kind of feeling towards you. So pile 2, that is what I have for you guys. I really hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope it resonated. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if it did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pile 3, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is currently thinking about you. So you guys chose the Alien perfume. I'm going to start with Taurus. I'm going to start with Tarot, and then we'll move in to your oracle cards. This person may be a Taurus. You may be a Taurus. You may hear from this person in Taurus season. I don't know why I went to say Taurus, but there's obviously a reason. So there's that. Pile number 3, please, Spirit Guides. Who's currently thinking about my pile 3s? Who currently has my pile number 3s on their mind? So we have the Lovers. Okay. Who is currently thinking about my pile 3s? Who is currently thinking about my pile 3s? We have the 7 of Swords reversed. Who is currently thinking about my pile threes? Someone's impressed, pile three. I don't know who it is yet, but someone's impressed by you. Yeah, someone's impressed. I'll get to it now. I don't know what you've been doing, but there's something you've done and someone's impressed. I'm hearing the national anthem song by Lana Del Rey, and she sang, can't speak. She sings, he said to be cool, but I'm already coolest. He said to get real. Don't you know who you're dealing with? Do you think you'll buy me lots of diamonds? That's just a song that came to mind. National anthem, Lana Del Rey. Pile. Oh my god, these cards. I'm not going to use these just because quite a few of them fell to the floor. Pile number 3. Who is currently thinking about my pile number 3s? Whoever this is, they're impressed. 7 of Cups. Who is currently thinking about pile 3? King of Pentacles. Who is currently thinking about my pile number 3s? The Sun. Who is currently thinking about my pile 3s? This person's a little bit, I'm not going to lie, this person feels a little bit arrogant or cocky. We have the World. There's something that you've grown and done. There's something that you've accomplished, and it's almost a feeling like, yeah, this is someone you know, by the way. It's almost a feeling like, but would they have achieved that if it wasn't for me? And it could be like, you could have like leveled up and grown as like a person in the sense of like not letting people walk all over you anymore, because this person used to walk all over you, and they're almost looking at it like, yeah, but the thing is, if we didn't go the way that we did, you wouldn't have grown and you wouldn't be who you are today. So like, you know, really, like, you should kind of like allow me like in your life, because like I'm a part of it. Like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here. Like, this person, pile 3, is cocky. Cocky. You know who this person is, I'm being told. They're very impressed by something you've done. And they're very breezy. This person doesn't take a lot of accountability. This person's very breezy and almost feels like, I don't like this. It's arrogant. It's like, I can come back into their life. And then it's like, they're aware that you would have shifted, or they're aware you have boundaries. There's almost this feeling of, yeah, but I like a challenge though. I don't like this person fight. This person's cocky. Pile number 3. Who's currently thinking about my pile 3s? This person's cocky. I'm going to keep saying it. We have the Tower. We have the 4 of Cups at the back of the deck. The Lovers, the King of Pentacles. This person's almost looking at you like, oh, we'll always end up back together, or we'll always come back to each other, or it's like, I'm hearing it's like Ross and Rachel. Like, we're always gonna, it's like the Harley Quinn and the Joker. We're always, you know, when you think of couples and they come back together, like they always make their way back to each other, they're almost referencing it like that to you. They're referencing you like that. Oh, we're just the same, we're cut from the same cloth, we're always gonna be back in each other's lives. And I don't like it, because there's an arrogance, and I don't like, if they would have hurt you in the past, it's like they're not acknowledging it in a way of like an apology. They're not acknowledging it in a way of, I'm sorry. They're not acknowledging it in a way of taking accountability. It's almost like, yeah, well, I've grown since, and you've grown, so like, obviously now it would make sense that we'd get together, because we've both grown and we've both learned, and now we can both come back together. And I'm not telling you guys what to do. If you'd want to go back to this person, you could, but there is a playful energy here, that even though that it's almost like that, I don't know why I keep being shown a car going onto somebody's drive. So I don't know if you now own a house. Maybe you've got a house and that's what they're proud of. There's something about someone feeling like, you've built a drive and now I'm going to park my car on it, because like, I don't know what that's to do with. I don't know why I'm being shown a car going on a drive, but you could have even like you could be driving now and you didn't before, I don't know. Or you could have like a really nice car. It could be something to do with that, but there's almost this feeling of like, you've built a foundation, I'm impressed, I'm going to come back. You've done something that I deem as good, I'm going to come back. Whereas it's like, if we actually turn our heads and look towards this person, have they really built anything? I don't know. I think this person's got to fake it till you make it flair about them. And I think that this person's looking at you with like, oh, well, you have all the jewels, now I'm going to come back. It's almost like they'd waver around, like, okay, so say now you were, I'm trying to make, like, create, like, an analogy to explain it. Say now you were building up a career, and you really started from the ground, and this person was around when you started from the ground, and this person was, like, maybe playing games, or hurting you, or doing something that wasn't very honourable to you while you were on the ground. Maybe you didn't have a lot of money, maybe you were fueling all of that energy in regards to work, you know, you were right at the beginning. So this person didn't see where you were headed. This person could only see there in the moment. And maybe they didn't support your career or where you were at. So they decided, oh, I'm going to go float about and find somewhere else. So they've dipped and gone somewhere else. In that meantime, you've taken that energy, you've fueled it into, like, let's say that career. Now your career is booming. Let's say it's a lemonade stand. You're handing out lemonades left, right, and centre. And they're like, oh my God, like, I want to come back. I want to take credit. I want to stand next to them. I want to stand next to the lemonade stand. Like, I want to take credit for this lemonade stand. I want to take credit, even though I wasn't there in the process, and even though I was there right at the beginning, I was disrespecting and not adding any value. It wasn't even my dream. I just headed somewhere else and now I'm back. There's something you're doing that they're impressed with, but there's a cocky arrogance of, I'm going to work my way back. This person feels a little bit like a leech, like a sea urchin. And they'll hang on to things that they think are going to be beneficial. That's something that I'm picking up from this person. And I feel like, especially with the Seven of Swords reversed and then we have the Sun, there's something that they did to you or something that they chucked into you that you've used to build the castle that you have, that you've used to add success or become the person that you are. So they're seeing you shining and they're almost feeling like, yeah, remember when I chucked that sword at you and you used it to build a castle? So technically, like, I helped build this castle. So technically I should be standing next to you. This person's very good with their words. This person could have a lot of Gemini or Virgo, because I'm picking up a lot of Mercury energy, but they may not use it in the best way. When we don't use that energy in the best way, it can come into a bit of like a trickster energy. That's what I'm kind of picking up. And it's not that this person, do you know what it is? It's not even that this person's tactical when they're doing it. It's more so they really believe what they're saying. Sorry guys, my camera cut out, but what I was saying is they really believe what they're saying. I don't even think they're making these moves in like a tactical way. I feel like this person is either very airy or they're just jumping all over the place, and I just don't feel like this person's too grounded, and I feel like they'll latch onto someone. They'll almost like latch onto someone that can provide for them, latch onto somebody that can give them something that they want. So it's like, I feel like that's what they do. Opportunistic. This person's opportunistic, but they almost feel like it's owed to them. So when they step towards someone that may have a lot of money, or step towards somebody that's, you know, very confident in the way that they are, and they see that as valuable, they're opportunistic because it's something that they don't have. So they feel like that it should be given to them. They could have like mommy issues, in the sense that like their parents, it could be daddy issues too, but it's more so like coming through like mommy issues, like the provider, the nurturing energy. They feel like they're owed it. I feel like they may have had a lot done from them, or they look at people like, well, you should be supplying this, but they're in a feminine energy, but it's in a bit of a chaotic feminine way. It's like, I should be the one receiving. They're not pulling the weight. And I think it was actually, and I'm going to say it because this is my opinion, this isn't a message from spirit, but I feel like this was a blessing in disguise, you not being around this person, because I feel like this person would have just bled you dry. Because that's how they feel. It's like they'll dry up somewhere and then they'll head somewhere else. It's like I'm fishing in these waters for all these fish, and then when there's no fish in the waters, I'm going somewhere else and taking their fish. But I'm owed it because I need to eat. Like, that's how it's coming through. But something you've done is impress them. Because we have the sword, which is reminding me of Merlin when he pulls the sword out. They might have even been looking at you a little bit, pile 3, like an underdog. They're almost looking at you like the underdog that got the sword out of the stone. You may have recently come into money, recently had a career up level, recently just felt like you've glowed up, you know, energy wise, and just been pouring into you. They're almost feeling like, I didn't expect that from you, and that's why they're impressed. They're feeling like the sword and the stone, like Arthur, like you've pulled that sword out, like you're worthy, you've got this crown on your head, like I had the crown all along, sort of thing. And they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna head you. And there's an excitement. This person used to bounce about a lot and jump about and take up space and room. This person almost feels like I'm not thinking of anybody else's feelings. That's how it's coming through. And while I feel the cycle of this person being in your life has closed, they're almost wanting to kind of like come back. Why have we got the Seven of Cups and the Tower? I feel like this person in the past would use illusions to make you feel like they were a prize. And when you step into a relationship, it's because you're both a prize and you both lift each other up and you both big each other up. Whereas this person talks the talk, but I feel like they come with like illusions. Whatever they was talking about, whatever they were saying, we've got the Tower here. It's almost like they'd say things without meaning, to keep themselves safe somewhere. So it's like, I'm going to give you all of this. We're going to be in a relationship. We're going to have all of this. So then you'd be in that relationship with them, but they wouldn't deliver all of that. It was all a lie. The tower fell down. You know that meme of that girl and she's holding up the envelope or the piece of paper and she was like, it was all a lie. Like there's almost a feeling of that, and they kind of create mess where they go. And I think that this person feels like they're stuck in their inner child, but it's like the shadow side of that. This person feels like they haven't grown up. And they're thinking about you because there's something they're impressed with. Maybe they've heard about it. Maybe they've checked up on you. But there's something of value that they're wanting to step towards. Especially with the genie in that card. It's reminding me of Aladdin when Jafar was calling Aladdin like the diamond in the rough. And it's like, obviously Aladdin bounced back, got the girl, got rich, you know, all of that. But like Jafar was trying to like manipulate. There's almost this feeling of like, I wanted to take credit for maybe things that you were doing, like you go get the lamp and then at the last minute I'm going to take the lamp and leave you stranded. So I feel like they might have done that quite a few times, whereas you've kind of bounced back in the Aladdin kind of way. They admire you though. Like I think that they see you as a good person. That there's something that they feel like there's something you've established and they want to like hook on to it. I don't know what you've established, but they're feeling like they want to hook on to it. And they may have had like options and they're almost feeling like with the holding this cup, it was like, oh, I wouldn't have expected this cup to bloom like that, like a flower. I want this now. I want this cup. Maybe there's something that you were working on but it hadn't bloomed yet, so they just thought, meh, I can't benefit from this at all, I'm gonna go. And now they're seeing like it's really bloomed and they're like, oh well, I'm gonna come back now, because we always come back to each other. Like there's a feeling of that. Like, did they say that to you a lot, we always come back? Or is that just something they have in their heads? There's almost a feeling like, yeah, well, this person's my soulmate anyway. And I think they romanticize then. Because this person's always in the moment, so this person romanticizes. So like right now they could be thinking, oh yeah, this person's my soulmate. Because they tell themselves that. When something looks shiny to them, they tell themselves, oh, that's mine. And that's what I'm supposed to have. And they almost like delusion it. Like they almost create an illusion around it. And then it's like, well, me and that person were soulmates. Why would we keep coming back to it? Like they'll say that to themselves in their head. Well, this person's my soulmate. Like that's how it feels. But it's chaotic. It feels really chaotic. It doesn't feel stable. And that's why they're drawn to you, because I think they go for people that they feel are anchoring them down, and can provide them with things. And I feel like maybe in the past they didn't feel like you could provide them with what they wanted because you were focused on something, building it for yourself. But now that you have it, they're looking to you. Yeah, pile number... I feel like when you'll know who this person was, because when they were in your life, I feel like they drained you or they took you out of your essence completely, so that you weren't focusing on yourself, you were focusing on them. Pile number 3. Who's thinking of my pile 3s? We have the moon. You will be guided through darkness. Yeah, there's something that they didn't see before that now they're seeing. And they didn't expect it. Forces beyond your control intervene. I feel like when this person left your life, it was maybe a little bit of a divine intervention. Because they were maybe holding you back. I feel like it was fated that this didn't last, because I feel like whatever it is that they're admiring about you now, I don't think you would have been able to reach it had this person still been in your life. So there was some sort of divine intervention there. Pile number 3. Who is currently thinking of my pile? 3s. We have the Star. A long journey brings rewards. Yeah, that's it. A long journey brings rewards. Yeah, you've rebirthed somewhere. You've built something and you've been moving steady. Like, you've been moving steady, but every time maybe this person was checking up, it hadn't bloomed yet. So they weren't thinking it was, like, worthy. Or they thought maybe you were, like, hitting a dead end. Or they just felt like, oh, that person isn't supplying me with what I need. But now that something's come into fruition, which is something you've been building for time, because it says a long journey. So this is something you've been working on. It could have been a healing journey. You've got the moon here. You're guided through darkness. So maybe you went on a healing journey. And now they're like, you really have bounced back. And that healing journey, that actually makes sense now, because now you're, really confident, or now you're, pouring into yourself in this way or that way. And it's like, that healing journey actually makes sense now. I didn't get it before and I didn't think it was worthy, but now I see it, and now you can give me that healing. That's how it feels. You can give me that healing now, because now I can see it works, because you've given it to yourself. There's something about that. Or it could be financial or something physical, something that you're reaping rewards from. And then we have honor and good luck. So this person almost sees you like a good luck charm, someone that could bring good luck into their life, someone that could turn their world around. But what they don't realize is the only person that can turn their world around is themselves. And the reason that they're falling and trying to find people that have all of these things is because they don't have them in themselves, and they don't want to do the work to have them in themselves because they believe they're owed it. And I'm hearing it's going to get a little bit lonely for them once they dry everything up, because they're not going to have that many people to, like, pull on. It's going to get a bit lonely for them if they don't wise up. And I don't know when that's going to happen. That's their energy. We're not doing a reading on them. This is about you. But it's going to get lonely if they don't start to wise up. I don't think you're going to pay any attention. If this person reached out to you, I don't feel like you would even acknowledge them. They may then pull on the tears of poor me. I'm hearing, because we have the tears falling into the cup. They may, because it may hit like a level of rejection. You're not giving me, you have this, but you're not giving it to me. That's not fair. Maybe so maybe their mother didn't give them the nurturing or the healing or what they deserve, maybe like emotionally or something like that. And maybe they felt like, okay, well, I need it, so I'm going to finesse it from other people. And they've always grown up finessing it, like, well, I deserve this, so I'm going to finesse it from people. And I think maybe when you don't give this to them and they can see you have it, maybe it'll trigger that wound, and maybe it could allow them to, like, level up then. Maybe it could trigger that wound, or maybe they just try and find it elsewhere. So it could have been that way. It's either the way of they didn't get what they deserved, so they felt like, well, I should be having it, so I'm going to take it from other people, and never grew out of that. Or they always were given what they wanted and just felt like they deserved it anyway. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this person's energy for you guys, because I just feel like they're almost looking at you a little bit like a gold mine. You're not to be mined. You know what I mean? You're gold for you. Yeah, that's how I feel. Let me know if this resonates. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below. I think you're just in your own energy. I think you're just gonna be, I think even when this person tries to maybe crop up, I think you'll be super oblivious to them, or I'll just be like, no. You'll be super oblivious to it, or you'll just absolutely shut it down straight away. Like, no, I don't see you bothering at all. Yeah. So pile 3, that is what I have for you. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching. And hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching. Hey pal 4, welcome to your reading. So we are taking a look at who is currently thinking about you. So you guys chose the Misty Or perfume. I'm going to start with tarot and then we're going to move on to your oracle cards. So let's get in. So pile, I'm hearing Jhené Aiko song Triggered. It's just a song I'm hearing. It could just be that you're listening to it. I don't know if it's going to correlate with the reading, but we'll see. So pile number 4, who is currently thinking about my pile number 4s, please? Who is currently thinking about my pile number 4s? We have the 6 of Cups, but it's in reverse. Who is currently thinking about my pile 4s, please, spirit guides? Who is currently thinking about my pile 4s? We have the 9 of Cups. We have the King of Cups. Look at all these cups. Who is currently thinking about my pile 4s, please? Queen of Pentacles. Who is currently thinking about my pile number 4s? 9 of Swords. Whoever this is, they're either doing shadow work or they're doing unintentional shadow work. So something in their current life has triggered something in their subconscious that is making them purge something up that would also be connected to you. Whoever this is, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they're going through it. When I tapped in, I heard Triggered by Jhené Aiko. She sings, go figure, you were the trigger. You brought me to an obstructive view when you knew the picture was bigger. And there's a frustration, and I don't think this person actually knows how they feel about you, pile number 4, because there's a lot of them. Okay, something's triggered this person recently where there's a hole in their foundation and water is coming through. That water represents their emotions. So anything that they've been avoiding and they've really been trying to avoid it, it's ruptured and they're feeling these feelings. So there's guilt, there's insecurities, there's anger, there's frustration, there's embarrassment, there's sadness. There's all of these emotions, and I don't feel that they know right now how to make sense of these emotions. So the way they're feeling about you is really dwindling. They're going back and forth on how they feel about you. One minute they may be very much romanticizing you, the next minute they may be very frustrated with you. And it might not just be you that they're thinking about, there could be other people, but you're tied to a wound that they are healing. And it's something to do with a karma that they're clearing, or they were supposed to clear but they were running from, and it's something to do with their insecurities, maybe not feeling good enough, something to do with connections. This does feel like a romantic connection. It doesn't have to be, but that's how it's coming through. I'll just lay the other cards and we'll get into it. Pile number 4, who is currently thinking about, see, these cards are just like, and I'm speaking fast because my mind's doing tricks because there's so much coming through. I'll try and stabilize myself and speak a bit slower. There is an option to put the what's it called, I don't know what it's called when you make things talk faster or slower. There's an option on the settings bar on the right that you can make things move at a different speed. I will try and speak slower for you guys. It's just this person's mind, it's doing backflips. This person in their current life is all over the place. They may be doing things that they may be turning to certain vices. 3 of Cups reversed. I'm seeing someone smack their head and go, why am I stupid? Why am I stupid? Why am I stupid? In a way of like, the 3 of Cups reversed, it talks about isolation, you know, 3 is a crowd, isolation, I'm on my own. And then there's like this 9 of Cups. So that I don't think it's just you. I think there are other people that they've looked at and got, missed an opportunity there, because I was dealing with this and I was dealing with this and I could have been happy there and I could have been happy there. They're looking at opportunities they've missed. They're thinking back to people. It could be, they were talking to you, or you were an ex, then there could be like another ex, another person they were talking to. There's a couple people, and it doesn't just have to be relationship wise, it could be friendship as well. There's feelings coming out, and I think they're acknowledging feelings maybe they buried in regards to you and other people. I don't think, I have to say though, you're not the only person they're thinking of, because this wound is attached to more than one person. Think about a string, and then it's got multiple knots in it, and they're working through these knots. I feel like you're a little bit more deep rooted, which may imply that you're an ex, or you're just someone that really triggered wounds. There maybe was a karmic lesson learned between you two, because there's something deep rooted, meaning you're more at the lower spectrum, meaning that they're going round in circles in regards to you. Like, they'll come to a conclusion, and then that'll peel, and they're purging through those emotions, and then they're coming to another conclusion. But while they're doing that, they're maybe thinking of other people, they're maybe feeling frustrated, they're going through bouts of anger, they're doing shadow work even though they don't mean to. Some of them are going through Saturn returns. There's just something happening here where a rupture has happened and water is just spilling through, and they have to acknowledge it. They kind of feel like Alice when she was in Wonderland, and she cried so much that there were tears, and she was like floating about, and she's like, I wish I didn't cry so much. This person kind of feels like that right now. I don't think shadow work is their forte. They feel a little bit like they're drowning. Let's keep going, because all these cups, man, like there's a lot of cups. Pile number, I'm hearing Redemption by Drake when he sings Redemption's on your mind when you think about me. Pile number 4, please, Spirit Guides. We have the 10 of Cups reversed. I'm hearing that song as well. This is how they're feeling. Bruno Mars and Lil Wayne, Mirrors. Mirror on the wall. Here I am again through my rise and fall. You've been my only friend. This person's going through it, guys. Pile number, maybe this is someone that didn't treat you right. Pile number, there's a heavy sadness coming through. I didn't know what that card was then. I was looking at it, I was like, what is this? 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands. The back of the deck, we have the 4 of Pentacles. So this person may be in seclusion right now. This person may be not be on social media much. You may not be hearing from this person. It could be that you haven't been hearing about this person for a while. Look at that, the Hierophant at the back of the deck. I feel like Spirit's with them, helping them through something, helping them cleanse. Yeah, 4 of Pentacles, they're retracting in their life right now. It wouldn't shock me if they're at home a lot. They're wanting to be in isolation. They're not speaking to many people. They may feel isolated. They may feel backed into a corner. They feel very lonely. So it could be that they're on their own right now, or they could be in a connection because something's triggered them to make them feel a certain way. So I almost feel like they could even be in a relationship and it's hit a wound that's causing them to heal something, and they're really working through something right now, while still being in a relationship. But they're not, I wouldn't say this person tries to forget things. So this person's someone that would like work overtime to really ignore their emotions. They may be a bit of a workaholic, or they'd be like gaming a lot, or they'd just be applying themselves and pushing their energy into things that like they could run from it. But this is something that's literally coming up into their conscious mind. They can't run from it. They really can't run from it. So what are they actually thinking in regards to you? I want to know that. So 6 of Cups reversed, 9 of Swords. Okay, so there's definite, what was I saying about the rope? And there's like knots. We literally have the rope here. So there's something that this person still feels like they're tied to you with. It's making them think back to a time period where you would have been in their life. There's a few things, this is what I mean, it's hard for me to get a hold on what they're thinking because it's changing a lot. It's rapidly changing. Because first of all, I'm being told, like I was saying for pile 1, when we have a wound stuck to a particular person, or we have a wound stuck to something that happens in our life, we'll be stuck in that time period where we'll always think of that person or that time period because a fragmented part of our soul is there, and it's calling us back there to be like, look, the wound's here, let's get it. And it takes a while for us to realize that. So there's a time period in this person's life that may have been a little bit more joyful that you would have been in, and they're referencing that and they're thinking back to that. I think that they're fantasizing about that. I think that they're thinking about how they could have done something in a different way. I feel like I want to cry, like how they could have spoken to you in a different way. Maybe they said something to you that they're regretting, because there's this feeling of, I didn't need to do it like that though. Or like, if I would have done it a different way, this person would still probably be in my life. Or I shouldn't have said these things to this person. I shouldn't have like, I know that that person was maybe kind and I shouldn't have treated them like that. So that's why they're then feeling guilt and there's this feeling of like, I want to turn back time. I want to go back. I want to make things right. I want to turn back. But then I'm being taken to like a frustration, where there's then a frustration towards you, and then it's like their energy shifting again, and it's almost like, you're toxic, you're this, you're that, and it's like the shadows coming up to feel things, and then it's like, you're mean, you're wrong, you were in the wrong, you did this was your fault, you gave me no choice. Like, there's a feeling of that coming up. So maybe something you've said to them that they're almost like chucking at you, and it's constantly shifting, and they're constantly moving around because they're going around in that wheel. So they don't actually know how they feel towards you, but they are thinking of you, and they're battling with these certain emotions. The Three of Cups here reversed with the Nine of Cups, they are thinking of missed opportunities. There's more than one that they've had. You're part of that. They're looking back to it and they're like, I shouldn't have let go of that. There was value there. I had everything I needed. It wasn't enough for me. Why? What's going on here? Insecurity. Like, I didn't get in this situation because there were insecurities that I had. What were these insecurities? So then these insecurities are coming up. Maybe their own toxic traits. Maybe they used to find it hard to admit to things, and now it's coming up for them to really face. And they're like, maybe I was wrong in ways, and maybe I was the bad guy in ways, and I didn't want to look at it, and now I'm forced to look at it. King of Cups with the Ten of Cups reverse. Maybe they got what they thought they wanted and it hasn't made them happy, because we have the Ten of Cups here, but it's in reverse. So when you look at the Ten of Cups upright, there's a connection, there's a home, there's a family, there's a situation. Maybe they got all of that and they thought, well, this is going to just, you know, I can ignore all of my insecurities, all of my wounds, I can have this and I'll be happy. They got it, they're not happy because they didn't heal. They could easily be enjoying everything that they have right now, but they can't enjoy it because they're realizing it was them. It was always them that was going to make themselves happy. It wasn't other people. It wasn't the house. It wasn't the car. It wasn't the money, the you know, partnership, the marriage, the career, the flat screen TV that they have. It wasn't those things. So there's something where they would have got what they wanted. I almost feel like there's an energy in their life of like, okay, you keep knocking things over because you don't think it's good enough, because you want all of this and you think that's what's going to make you happy. All right, you have all of that. See how happy you are then. So they have it and they're not happy because it wasn't that was going to make it happy, and they're realizing that with the Ten of Cups reverse. And I think it's part of their journey to learn that, to become more emotionally mature, for them to grow, because we have the Lotus here, and that's what they're going through right now. There is a Tower moment happening where they're having to acknowledge a lot of things, and they're going to grow and level up. And I think that they've been putting it off and running from it and putting it off, and now they're having to face it. They've seen you do this. They've seen you do this. Have you been doing shadow work too? Have you been doing inner work as well? Were you in isolation, worked on yourself and bounced back? This person saw you do this, and now they're seeing you stood here with the Queen of Pentacles. And I think they thought, easy, I'm going to do it too then. If you've done it and you've grown up and you've done this and you've done that. Or maybe the other people have too. And they're going, oh, well, you've changed, you've grown up, you leveled up, I'm going to do it. But they're struggling with this Ten of Wands, because you can see the birds let go of the wands and it's falling backwards. They're struggling with the weight of it. And I think maybe that's why they're maybe acknowledging you and putting you in this room, because it's like, oh, wow, you went through this and bounced back. Oh, wow, this isn't easy. This shift that you've done, this isn't actually easy. Because I'm struggling here. I get it. I think they've been keeping an eye on you because they're drawing comparisons to you. Because they're like, there's a feeling of, I'm in seclusion, I'm on my own, I don't want to see anyone. That's what my pal fours did. They went into seclusion and they didn't want to see anyone. I'm feeling insecure right now and I'm just like going through all these emotions. Pal 4 were going through this. There's something that they're acknowledging that you've done too. And they're like, oh, they went through this. Some of them may be opening up spiritually. Only some of them. There is a healing of the inner child taking place. But they're referencing, oh my God, pal 4. They've definitely been keeping tabs on you because they keep referencing that this is you now. And they're referencing like they did this. They did. And there's an acknowledgement coming, okay, this acknowledgement might be in the future, it might not be now. But there's an acknowledgement that will come once they've started to find their footing again, where it's like they went through all of that too. They're a champ because that was hard for me and I know it would have been hard for them too. And then they're almost connecting to you on a hearty level. That hasn't happened yet though. I'm being told to say that it hasn't happened. And it might not even happen if they choose to just like keep ignoring. Because they could go through a little bit of it and then decide to run away. So I'm being told to say that hasn't happened yet. It's a potential where they could look at you and go, oh, they've done it too. And then resonate with you and have more of a respect there. But it's everything's in the wings because right now there's just so much coming up. But there is a thought in their brain though, like, my pal 4s did this. My pal 4s were isolating. My pals, maybe you've spoken about it. I have been healing, or I've gone through an ego death, or I've just completely flipped my world around. Maybe you've spoken about it. So it's like they're finding like a salvation there. Maybe they're in your life as a friend, so they're finding salvation there. Or maybe they're just hearing through the grapevine, or they've seen you speak about it. Or maybe you were going through it when they were in your life, so they're using the words that you would have said when you were in their life. Yeah, that's definitely something coming through. They're healing deep wounds right now. I don't think they're very good right now. I don't think they're very happy right now with anything because they're doing that shadow phase. Could it be an ego death? It could be an ego death they're going through. It's unintentional shadow work because it wasn't something that they actually wanted to do. It wasn't something that they wanted to do. And it's opening their eyes as well, because we've got the eye here. It's like opening their eyes, it's expanding their consciousness. That's the potential that it has to do. That's only if they keep choosing to heal. Because they could bog this all down. Sometimes people will start doing healing and then just throw it all back in the subconscious and ignore it. People do that. They could do this. That's what I'm saying. There's a scale that's moving back and forth because I don't think this person knows yet. I don't think this person's spirit guides know yet which way, but I know that they're being heavily assisted through their emotions right now. Everything's a bit foggy for them. I hope I haven't spoke too fast because I started to calm it down a bit, but yeah, this person's not okay. This person isn't happy. We have honor and good luck. I would say just wish them well. If they are in your life, don't do too much for them in the sense of, I mean, do what you want, but maybe taking the burden off them would interrupt their karma. And when I say interrupt their karma, maybe it's part of their life lesson to evolve and find that confidence and strength in themselves. If you are in their life, of course be a friend to them, but don't, I feel like taking too much baggage of them would have them then not overcome certain things. There's something they have to go through on their own. And I think you cared about this person. So if you are in their life, don't do everything for them. Because this is something that is going to help them level up. And they need to reach this King of Cups. That's what their higher self is pushing for. You will receive news from afar. They could contact you. Your higher self may have contacted them in their dreams, maybe this person's part of your soul tribe, and maybe your higher self has helped them out as a guide in their dreams, and maybe that's why they're feeling a bit connected to you, or maybe that guidance that they're feeling that they're getting is coming from your higher self. And then in the 3D, they're looking to you like, oh, that's the energy, because they're resonating with that energy because they've felt it in the other realms, in the astral realms. I do feel like there's something spiritually where you're helping them, but I don't feel like you're actually doing it 3D. It could just be a lesson that they're learning from you, where you've grown, or it could be your higher self genuinely helping them out, or you could be showing up in their dreams. I don't know if you've ever watched my dream pick a card. It's one of my dreams trying to tell me, but what I channeled in that pick a card was, sometimes when we need to heal or realize something in the physical, without it being too permanent of it happening in 3D, we can, in our dreams, in the astral realms, call in certain souls that we would have that wound with, and then we'd act out in our dreams. Like, let's say in our dreams that person was there and we were in a connection with them and they hurt us, and then in our dreams then we wake up in the physical, and then we remember that hurt. So it wasn't permanent, but it brought up that wound from the subconscious to the conscious mind. There could have been things happening in their dreams with you, so like your soul's helping them in the astral, like, let's play this out. So when you wake up, I wouldn't have had to come out of my energy in the 3D. I'm still doing my own thing, but you'll wake up with that wound, and I would have helped you do that. So that's where you may be coming up in their dreams. I hope that made sense. I can elaborate in the comments if you would like, but I spoke about it in my dream video, because that's what I found when I channel for people when they look at their dreams. Because the dream state, it's less permanent because it's not solidified in the 3D. So we can have our, let's say, fear of kidnapping come up in our dreams where we're kidnapped, but we don't have to actually get kidnapped in the 3D, you know? I hope that makes sense. And then we can heal the root chakra, you know? Things like that can happen sometimes in our dreams. Pile number 4. This person's just emotionally tired, I think, right now. They may be feeling a bit voidant, not finding joy in much. I'm hearing When Life Got Cold by Girls Aloud. Yeah, you will be guided through darkness. This person may be going through an ego death. You will receive news from afar. You will be guided through darkness. I do kind of feel like on a soul level you're helping them out in some sort of way. You don't have to be. I don't think in the 3D you are. Maybe you stepping away has helped them with this. There's definitely karma here you're resolving. We have hindrance as well. Fate has blocked this path for you. Yeah, I don't think that for you, this person's meant to be in your life right now. So I think that maybe spiritually, that's what's helping them move on. Because I think maybe they're not meant to be in your life right now. Maybe it would have hindered your own Queen of Pentacles, your flowers, you know, your garden blooming. Sorry guys, my camera cut out. But yeah, I do feel like this person's really purging. But I feel like maybe you were in some sort of connection, and then I feel like when it says fate has blocked your path, I almost feel like you were always meant to maybe go through a certain shift and grow, or maybe they were, and I think that you both were meant to go separate ways. I think that was always supposed to happen, and I think that you've both played heavily into each other's karma to help each other heal a certain karma, and I think that's why they're thinking of you, because now that it's their time, like, think back to, if this person was in your life, think back to when you were healing their karma. Were you thinking about them a lot? Because if you were, that's being mirrored now, because now they're healing, now they're thinking of you. So that's coming up. Will they heal from it? It's completely up to them if they choose to continue. But I feel like light is on the other side of them healing that, but it's completely up to them if they choose to do that or not. But I do feel like this person's going through it at the moment, to be honest with you. I don't think this person's very happy where they are right now, pile 4. Yeah, so that is what I have for you, pile 4. I really hope that this brought you clarity and that you enjoyed the reading. Hit the thumbs up and comment down below if you did. I'm sending you guys all of my love. I hope you have a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys in my next video. So thank you guys for watching.